Happy New Year, feliz año nuevo. Prosperity and blessing, prosperidad y bendiciones para todos. Aquí estamos en San Agustín, Florida. We're in San Agustín, Florida. We're going to be taking a trolley ride. Vamos a estar haciendo un ride de trolley. Esperamos que lo disfruten y por aquí vamos. And here we go. Check that out. Miren eso. Eso es salvaje. That looks cool. Más cafés. More architecture, más arquitectura. Snack, shack coffee. I can't go too fast, so they're leaving me behind. No puedo ir muy rápido, se me están dejando atrás. Café de Hidalgo de 6. Everybody's waiting for me, todo el mundo está esperando. Oh, ya esto aquí. Vamos por ir para adentro. Let's go check it out. Bunch of stores here. Beanie.
Look, it's the sorting hat.
Weapons. Run for the clock. Precioso. Real cool stuff. I don't know what she's doing. No sé qué está haciendo ella ahí. Mini museum. All right, we're gonna try this place, world most famous taffy. They say got 100 plus specialty soda, handmade fudge, chocolate, cotton candy. You know, enter here. Since 1948. Look at that. That's pretty cool. They have, says 125 plus.
And she said that you can have one free.
Okay.
21. There's a lot of flavors.
What are we taking? Like a mixed bag?
Yes, and I'm
Okay.
gonna take a mix.
Okay. They got these little lunch boxes too. They're pretty cool for the kids. So they fill those up. The people fill those up, and it's a gift. That is so cool. How long has this business been here?
In St. Augustine,
Uh-huh.
probably like 7 to 10 years.
7, 10 years?
We've
But,
been in Daytona since 1948.
all right. So in Daytona, since el 1948, y aquí en San Agustín, 7, 8 años. I do mix, Spanish and English. Today my brain has been very bad. Man, this stuff looks very nice. Se ve todo bien sabroso ahí. So esto es fudge. Very famous, the fudges and chocolates. And then Elisa's gonna make like a mixed bag like this. Elisa va a hacer como una bolsa así mezclada. And then it's by the pound, right? By the pounds, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
See, there's the sign right there. Bag your own.
Oh, aquí está. There you go. Bag your own. Or the ones that are already bagged up. Los que ya están hechos, entonces sí lo vas a hacer tú. All right, let's get closer and see. Vamos a ver. Candy apple.
You want you see any? Pick your free one first. Birthday cake. Banana split.
Lisa. All right, I'm gonna have to stop the video. We're gonna stop here because this place just got full. Se acabó de llenar aquí. All right, vamos a cerrar así con el shot de Lisa.
Columbia restaurant where they also serve an authentic early 1900 original Cuban recipe, and they still serve it today. It's actually pretty good, the Cuban sandwich. Now, talking about houses and the area you're sitting at, this whole area is the Minorcan quarters. As a matter of fact, the Minorcans came from the island of Minorca. They were picked up along with Greeks and Italians and some African Americans to actually
Cuban
be
café
brought to
and
St.
bakery.
Augustine,
No te lo olvides.
and then be brought from St. Augustine down to the New Smyrna
Ya
and
sabes,
to
no,
work on
ni
an indigo
sabíamos.
plantation. Well, that indigo plantation was owned by a British man named Andrew Turnbull,
Aye.
which, by
Round
the way,
two.
the plantation
Round
didn't
two.
make it because of bad conditions, weather. Some people were deaths and malnutrition. That they shut down this plantation. It went under, and well, the owners left the Minorcans and other workers there.
De eso
And guess
tenemos
what
un
happened?
montón allá,
So
de cubanos allá
leader, Father
donde estamos.
Cam, brought the workers up to St. Augustine to strike a deal with the British governor of the time and for places to stay, for a trade for skills and labor, that they would make this deal. And okay, they said, okay, everybody agreed to the deal, but the American Revolution happened, the British had to go home, and Minorcans got to stay, and this is the reason why we can call this St. Augustine the oldest continuously occupied European settlement. Now,
¿Está cerrado?
all right, guys, welcome to the Gilded Age. I'm not sure if you've been up to the Gilded Age yet, but Cordova Street, it used to be a whole creek. This used to be creek and swamps. Hi. Good. Happy New Year. All right. Now, to your left, there was Mr. Henry Flagler, who would come back in the Gilded Age, 1880s, would come here and had his eye on a piece of property that he wanted to buy. Matter of fact, that property is back to the left, but we'll get around to it. Now, there was a church on that property.
Wow,
It was
look
called
at
the
this.
Olivet Methodist Church, and it was on stilts. in
Miren
the
este
swamp.
edificio. Look at
Now,
this building.
He said, I
This
want to
is
buy
beautiful.
a property, and the Methodist said, no, sir, we love our church. He said, I'm the second richest man. Just
Una
sit
iglesia
down, get away and do a
metodista,
business.
Methodist
Mr.
church.
Flagler did, to where it worked out, and it did work out on his benefit, because for a $4,000 piece of property, he agreed to build him a church and give the land right here to your right, Grace United Methodist Church. Matter of fact, look how long it extends out. This Methodist church, they were very happy with the arrangement. And Mr. Henry Flagler got the $4,000 piece of property. Well, I mean, you'll see, $4,000 doesn't seem like a lot, but you'll see he got the better end of the deal, Mr. Flagler did. Now, you know, the Methodists were getting help. The church caught fire after it was built. Now, Mr. Henry Flagler helped them rehab it back up, and guess who started hearing about it? The Baptists. The Baptists said, oh, there's this man, Mr. Henry Flagler, that is helping the Methodists build their church back up after it caught fire. Well, he also built it up. And, well, Mr. Henry Flagler, we would like some help also. And this is around the times where people were building buildings, either for financial reasons, that people weren't finishing them, or they were just going on to a new idea. He didn't want the same thing to happen when the Baptists came to him. So when the Baptists said, he said, listen, how about this? You guys raise $10,000. You got build a church in under 2 years. Thank you. And I'll give you the land so you can put for your church. Right here to your right, Ancient City Baptist Church right there, Romanesque style. Matter of fact, that's the church that he agreed with them that they can keep the land if they built it under 2 years. Very generous and rich at the same time, and he was a very good businessman. Now, these bricks that we're riding on, it's a little rough road, but these bricks were actually meant for the Grand Hotel, the Ponce de Leon. And there's a reason why they weren't using it out now on the road.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that though. But right to your right, this is a beautiful church. This is Flagler Memorial Presbyterian Church. A beautiful church built with a sad story. Matter of fact, look at the details. The dome up top there, 150 feet with an extra 20 foot of cross up there. And the details on this church, the glass windows, my God, if you ever get to go inside, amazing. Now, Mr. Henry Flagler and his family's remains are downstairs on the west wing, so you get to go check it out. But the story is, this church was built because of his daughter, Jenny Louise. Jenny Louise was pregnant, and, well, she was going to give birth, and she gave birth to a baby girl named Marjorie, and 3 hours and some change later, the baby would die. So she fell sick, and, well, Mr. Henry Flagler said to her husband, send my daughter down to me, and I'll nurse her back to health. They agreed on it. They were supposed to meet in the Carolinas. Well, guess what didn't happen? They met in the Carolinas, but he would never see her alive again. She succumbed to her illness, and, well, he was so distraught, he wanted to build it so he could memorialize her in a church for her first year death anniversary. Well, please remain seated. This is our stop number 8, and I'll tell you in a second. I'll finish my story in a second. I'll step to your right. Now, he wanted this church built, and he wanted it done in a year. Now, Carrera and Hastings, 2 men that were up to the task, he said, if you don't have it done in a year, you don't get paid. They said, we got this. They built this church in 361 days. Yeah, they can't build this church in 10 years now. I mean, you look at the buildings, and it stands the test of time, and look at the details. I mean, if you guys, when it gets open, I recommend you guys jump inside. Largest organ. You get to visit Mr. Henry Flagler and his family down in the basement in the West Wing. His son's not there because they didn't like each other. But, number on, number off, we're in motion. Alright, this is our stop number 8. And we're going to go to our stop number 9. And if you look up to your left over there, there is a large smokestack, but it has a story. But we'll tell you that we're going to Flagler College, which in 1967 it became Flagler College. Before that, it was 2 years of all-women's college, believe it or not. And before that, it was the Grand Hotel, the Ponce de Leon. And that large smokestack right there would have 4 coal-burning generators built underneath it by Mr. Henry Flagler's good friend, Thomas Edison. And we all know Thomas Edison and his electricity. Well, he brought hot water and electricity to this hotel 4 years before the White House. And also, well, knowing what electricity does. I mean, when you say electricity and lights, that's how we have lights. Well, now we're not scared. When they first came out with it, everybody was scared. They were like, that's electricity. If we touch that, we might die. So they were like, no way am I touching those switches. So they had to hire a group of employees that were called the switchers that would go turn on and off the lights for the guests day and night. Could you imagine to be afraid to flip your light switch on? But anyway, this is magnificent hotel, and it was, money was no matter, but Mr. Henry Flagler put a lot of money into it, and he wanted his up north rich friends to come down to his beautiful resort and spend their money. So this was a winter stay hotel. As a matter of fact, you had to stayed about December to April or May, I believe, and it took about $9,000 to stay, which roughs out to about $120,000 of money in our money today. Now, he spared no expense. He wanted them to spend money, and I'll tell you, some parts of this college, if you go inside, absolutely amazing, amazing and beautiful. Now, right here, if you look to your right, on the building, that round portion, that's called a rotunda. That rotunda is the dining hall for the students now, but was the grand ballroom. It was have room for about 600 guests. And let me tell you something. Do you see the glass right there? The glass around on the rotunda, that is the largest collection of Tiffany Tiffany glass in the world, valued and insured for over $130 million. And the reason why it's hard to see is because obviously we got hurricanes and we don't want to ruin that kind of money. And Louis Comfort Tiffany had a little piece of himself everywhere in St. Augustine. Now, remember those bricks we were driving on that I said was supposed to be for his grand hotel, the Ponce de Leon? Well, Mr. Henry Flagler borrowed a new idea. Borrowed it from the man across the street. Matter of fact, those bricks were supposed to be for the hotel, and he said, with all the mysterious fires going on, we better borrow this idea. He begged, well, not begged him, he talked to the guy across the street, Franklin Smith, who built the first experimental poured cement building in St. Augustine. That's our stop number 9, our Villa Zareta. But Mr. Henry Flagler said, please, I would like to borrow this idea. And if you see part of the front in the hotel is part brick and experimental poured cement.
Chase.
Now,
I didn't chase it.
we're coming around the bend, but if you get a chance to go inside this hotel, matter of fact, the Flagler College now, you get a chance, the students here give a great tour. So take that tour. It tells you about Mr. Henry Flagler and the comings and goings and what he's accomplished. And as you come around, I mean, look at the details of this building. Look at the balconies. Look at the roof. Look at around the windows. I mean, absolutely amazing work. And, well, even if going in the courtyard. But like I said, the students give a great tour. And there's Mr. Henry Flagler there, another statue with his long jacket. Now, we are coming up to our stop number 9, our Villa Zareta Museum. Villa Zareta Museum, well, Villa Zareta was built by Mr. Franklin Smith, who would like to travel. Thank you. Who would like to travel. Matter of fact, if you look at this building, look at the balconies, the windows and everything, that's a Moorish style. He got this visiting a palace he got this idea off of a palace that he visited in Granada, Spain. So he was experimenting, making different kind of concretes, putting different cements inside, and different things inside of it. He would make one layer, after it dried, pull the wood, make another layer, and it was different materials used, but 32 or more layers or so. He had his own very first poured cement building in St. Augustine. Now, right to your right, you got a couple of pictures right here that give you a little sneak peek of what's inside. Each of those rooms, there's different rooms inside. You can walk around, look at everything. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful and gorgeous inside. They give you little speakers so you can hear each room at your own pace. You don't have somebody telling you. You get a speaker, it'll tell you about what's in each room, what years, and you can just take your time. Stop number 9 and 10 are my absolute favorite that I learned about on these tours. Now, they like to collect antiquities. Matter of fact, there's a lot of good, cool furniture from long time ago, but more importantly, they have a 2,400-year-old rug, ancient Egyptian rug, made of cat fur. Yeah, cat fur. I'm like, how do cats have fur? I thought they were bald, right? Please remain seated until I come to a complete stop. I can't ring my bell here, but I can verbally ring my bell, and I'm not going to look at you guys when I do it. Ding, ding. All right. Now, inside, if you go inside, like I said, stop number 9 and 10, if you want to see a museum, those are it. All right, no more on, no more off. Yeah, can you do it? Yell it really loud. You guys all want to do? Come on, guys. Ding, ding. Ding, ding. Yeah, see, I don't feel so bad. You guys look like I do. All right. Stop. You know what? You guys are my favorite today. I'll tell you right now. All right. Yeah, come on.
She says that every time.
We're gonna go from our stop number 9 to our stop 10. Please remain seated until I get there. Now. All right. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. See, you don't get many people that are nice to us 72-foot trolleys.
Thank you, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, ding, ding.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, I mean, look at these things. I mean, they built this stuff with just an idea and an experiment. Look at these windows on stop number 9 and the balconies. It's absolutely amazing. And I think this is the one that has the mummy foot. I had to do all the tours to learn about this because I'm like about a month and a half, old doing this. I had to learn a lot. They put us on all the tours, and I'll tell you, it's absolutely amazing in there. But we are going to go to our stop number 10. Matter of fact, this was the second Grand Hotel of Henry Flagler's. You can see the side of it over there, the Alcazar Hotel, which is now the Leitner Museum. I mean, look at just the roof and the details there. And do you know this was the Ponce de Leon Hotel? After it was finished, he really loved that idea, Henry Flagler. Loved that poured cement idea because guess what? That was done in the same year, at the end of the same year that was finished. Now, we're going up, which our stop number 10, Leitner Museum, right after it was the Alcazar Hotel. Otto Leitner. Oh, before I get into Otto Leitner, remember Olivet Methodist Church? That they agree with the Grace United Methodist Church for the church in the land? Well, right here is it. This is the $4,000 piece of property. Hi! Happy New Year! Right? And remember the church, the Olivet Methodist Church, the church on stilts? Well, that's to your right. And that green fountain right there commemorates the spot that the Olivet Methodist Church sat. Now, in 1948, Otto Leitner made this into his home. The museum. I mean, we all collect things. Like, I got a bunch of, M&M collection. Like, I do. I really do. We all collect the weirdest things. Some people collect cards. Some people, like Pokemon cards. Those were a good 90s thing, but not now. But, Otto Leitner, he liked to collect antiquities. He also liked Victorian-era artwork. Matter of fact, he has a history of toasters inside. Like, who collects toasters? Unless you really like toast. And then he has the first toaster, the second toaster, the third toaster. I can keep going, but you have to go in and count your toasters. But he has a large collection of crystal. He also has some Tiffany lamps. Like I said, Louis Comfort Tiffany would have himself around St. Augustine's buildup everywhere. Now, on top, in the top floor there, the Victorian era artwork Otto Leitner loved. That and the furniture is on display up top, and that would have been the old grand ballroom, and it was only on the outside of the inside of the building, but it only ran rectangular on the inside on the outside. It's hard to explain. I'll tell you in a minute. But right here to your left, that statue, that's Don Pedro Menendez, our founder of St. Augustine. That was given to us by his birthplace in Spain, Avilés. Some people say it differently. Avilés, I'll just say it. In Spain, they gave us that statue. Now, please remain seated until I come to a complete stop. Ring my bell. Only step to your left because the bushes will not feel good on the right. But absolutely, this right here is worth the go in. Just the courtyard, when you walk in, there's a fountain. You can walk over this little bridge, or there's water. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. All right. All right, no more on, no more off. All right, we are in motion. Please remain seated until we get to our next stop and ring my bell. Welcome aboard for anybody new. My name is Tara. Please, no smoking, vaping, consumption of alcohol. Keep your body parts belonging inside the trolley. Keep your conversation to a minimum because it's a narrated tour. All right, saying that and get it out of the way. This was the second Grand Hotel of Henry Flagler's, the Alcazar Hotel. His first one across the street, the Ponce de Leon, was a winter's stay. Now, this second one, the Alcazar Hotel right here, now the Leitner Museum, was the cheaper stay. You can stay here, pay a week, and stay a week, or stay a week and pay a week. Now, this Alcazar Hotel, well, Mr. Henry Flagler, when the lights went down in St. Augustine, he wanted his guests to have something to do. Matter of fact, he had a bowling alley inside. He had archery. They have Russian steam baths in there. Now, if I keep telling you everything, you're going to be like, oh, I don't need to go in because I got your imagination. But I went in there already. And absolutely, remember how I told you the ballroom's around the top? It's weird. It's because it has the largest indoor swimming pool of its time in there. A large indoor swimming pool in the middle. So every floor comes in a rectangular shape around that pool. And that pool inside, as big as it is, was emptied and filled up every single day. I'm like, wow, where'd your water come from? Right? But they did have all the stuff in there. They even have a small casino inside that the wives could spend their husband's money. But, hi. How you doing? Happy New Year. You gonna go eat in the pool? There's a pool in there. Yeah, there's a pool. You get to eat in the deep end. And you don't need a bathing suit. No, it's good. You just go in and go look at. Just put your head in there and look in there. That's our stop 14, where the beach bus also comes every hour and a half hour. Now to your left is our Spanish Constitution right there on the white monument, where you can go up and read it. The Spanish king wanted his constituents to know that they had a right and their rights. And well, they also had a market up here to your left that you can see where they could buy, sell, and trade goods at free will, and in the marketplace. That would be right to your left. And there's the 4-foot soldier statue, commemorating the 4-foot soldiers of Lincolnville. Now we are coming around. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna go to stop number 14. But till then, you'll see a statue right there of a short man. His name was Don Juan Ponce de Leon, our founder of Florida. Matter of fact, the reason why I say he's a short man, and there's a lot to say about Don Juan Ponce de Leon, but that's a short statue. They try to say, well, Don Juan Ponce de Leon is 4'11". I mean, back then the Spanish weren't so tall. So everybody keeps saying, oh, they might have been this tall. Somebody said 5'5", and I'm like, well, I would agree with 5'5", only because 5'5" would be about the average height of a Spanish male back then. But when they said 5'11", I was like, that's because that man up there is wearing heels. And, yeah, he's wearing heels. So if they're measuring, it's probably from the bottom of his heels to the top of his hat. But that man's not 5'11". I mean, that's my opinion. Not everybody else's. Alright. This whole area is lit up at night because of our nights of lights. So if you guys haven't done that yet, it's definitely worth a try. We run around, listen to music. And you search for L's, and there's a couple little lights. Now, please remain seated until I come to a complete stop. Ring my bell. Only step to your right, because there's an active street to the left. But only after I ring my bell. Hold your handrails. Climb down as if you're climbing down a ladder. Alright. Second St. Augustine lighthouse, because the first lighthouse got took by the sea because it was a little angry. So they built this one with 219 stairs up and down. And, well, they have if you don't like heights, they have museums and stores at the bottom. Alright, this is our military base, our St. Francis Barracks over here, which is the National Guard headquarters, Florida National Guard headquarters. We are coming up onto our right, our oldest house. Matter of fact, this house was built after the 1702 fires, roughly guesstimate about 1723. And look, I mean, the courtyards and the gardens are absolutely amazing here. That the bottom was built with coquina, the top is cedar. So please remain seated. If you see, this is the only portion of the road they did not pave. It's uneven, so if you're getting off, they have great tours inside. Alright. Only step to your right. No on, no off. Nobody's getting off. Alright. We are in motion. Oh, that's right, they're closed today. Well, I was promoting something. If you guys are here tomorrow, they are. I'm like, yay! It's a good tour. So I always tell people please remain seated because you know that those narrow streets that we go down. So we go down in roads that look like they don't belong being driven in by a trolley. Now it is a little tricky, but if you see now, I was telling you earlier about the different period homes, and you can tell which period. Like beautiful Spanish courtyard. The front of the oldest house has a balcony that goes over the street. Now, do you see this house right up straight ahead? The white one right here, with all the windows and the second floor and the balcony pushed in. That is a British period, all right there. So you can tell different periods. You just gotta look at the houses and their details and their balconies. Like the second oldest house of St. Augustine, absolutely, I'll show you in a second. Love the courtyard, the coquina wall that closes in the courtyard where they would keep their livestock, the Spanish. This will be right to your right, across the street right there. You see that? That's the second oldest house. And the balcony goes over the street, and you don't see the door right to the street. You had to go through the courtyard. Now, if you find a Spanish period anything, is because they did borrow this British period, the second Spanish period, borrow British period idea, second floors and balconies. But, like, right here, it has a door right to the front, a certain purpose for it. Alright, usually if they were open, you'll also see the 5 flags of Florida actually flying. They do it every day right over here. But they're not open today, guys. See, I haven't done this, the going in, I didn't do the gardens. I just went quickly into doing my tours for learning. Alright. Hi. Now, down the street right here, it's not on our tour, but the Florida National Cemetery for commemorating the Second Seminole War soldiers is down that street about a quarter of a mile. Not even. A couple blocks down if I had to guess. And it's not our tour, but some people like national cemeteries. Now, right to your right, you get a good look of our Bridge of Lions, which brings you over to Anastasia Island. You go to the alligator farms or visit the A1A beaches. Now, our beach bus does not go to the lighthouse, which I wish they would because a lot of people would love to see it. Other than that, the Bridge of Lions, like I was saying earlier, wasn't the Bridge of Lions before Dr. Andrew Anderson, became mayor of St. Augustine. Now, in 1927, the Bridge of Lions was built, and it was called Matanzas Bay Bridge. Now, in 1928, when Dr. Andrew Anderson would donate 4 lions, marble lions, to the bridge, and the marble was came out of the same quarry as Michelangelo's Our David in Italy. We are in motion. My name is Tara. Please remain seated until the next stop and I ring my bell. But until then, keep your conversations to a minimum. This is a narrator. Keep your body parts and belongings inside the trolley. And there's no smoke and vapor consumption of alcohol. There's a lot of rules, I'm sorry. But we are going for a stop 19, our welcome center, to our stop 20. And our stop 20 is our Mission Nombre de Dios. But before then, you see that house right there in the back to the right? Right in the corner? That's Miss Lucy Abbott's house. Miss Lucy Abbott, that big Victorian. It's hard to see sometimes when it's fully like in bloom, the tree. But Miss Lucy Abbott is what I call the first undercover realty woman of St. Augustine. Now there's a reason for that because she got willed a lot of money. She wanted to, make more money and be a part of the buildup of Florida. Now you see a lot of these buildings like houses, 1930. Look at houses and businesses that will pass by. This is called Abbott Track. Even the Christmas shop and houses down blocks and blocks. Well, what she did was she wanted to be a part of it, but women of her stature weren't allowed to have money, let alone the only thing they were allowed to do is really be married and have a baby at the later 1800s and early 1900s. Now, she would use her little brother's name on her finances, build one house under his name, and it worked out. So nobody knew what happened. She sold it, and it was a success. So she would go on to doing it 128 times. Yep. She was very successful undercover realty woman of St. Augustine. 124 to 126 of those buildings actually still remain today. That's why they call this Abbott Track. Alright, we are coming up to our Mission Nombre de Dios, where Don Pedro Menendez and his crew with Father Lopez would come up on land where that 208-foot steel cross to your right is. And matter of fact, if it was 209 feet, it would have a red blinking light on it. Now, also inside here, when they come up on land, Don Pedro Menendez, when they were sent out by the king, when they came up, they were giving thanks to God, Father Lopez was, praying and giving thanks to God about their safe journey. And also, they were celebrating St. Augustine. A hippo is the reason why we got our St. Augustine name. When Don Pedro Menendez, our founder of St. Augustine, came in. Now, they do have a small museum in here. They do hold mass inside, and they have a gift shop. But this property is absolutely peaceful and gorgeous to go on. Now, if you look at the base of this walkway under the cross, there is a statue of Father Lopez with his arms reaching out, pointing out over the land and went up to the heavens. Now, please remain seated. Only step to your right until after I ring my bell.